Hi, we're going to be talking about hip hinges today. That's something that I find a lot of people have trouble with. If you're bending forward and you only feel your lower back or your hamstrings when you're doing deadlifts or like anything that requires you to bend forward in the gym, like cleans even, which was me in a past life. Literally my lower back muscles were fucking jacked and I had a little butt. I mean, I had a butt, but it wasn't as big as it is now, let me tell you, from learning how to actually use those glute fibers. So we're gonna be going over kind of the basics about hip hinging today. I'm gonna take you through a couple of exercises so you can feel exactly what a hip hinge is. And then that'll allow you to progress into more advanced exercises in the gym and eventually, hopefully, feel your butt cheeks working instead of everything but your butt cheeks. So let's get started. Okay, so the first exercise we're gonna do is a tall kneeling hip hinge. And that's because, like I mentioned before, sometimes when you're doing some sort of hip hinging motion, which by the way, looks something like this, your lower back and your hamstrings like to take over the load because your butt is really not available to do it. So when we do it in a tall kneeling position, it basically takes your hamstrings out of the equation and has you just focusing on your core and your glutes. So let's start here. You're gonna be in a tall kneeling position. You're gonna be nice and tall from your knees to your butt to your shoulders, and you're going to squeeze your butt to start so you're in a nice hip extended position. From there, you're going to also want to think about bringing your rib cage down. So you're going to put your hands on your ribs and really like make sure that you're pushing down here so you're not in this duck back situation like I like to be in a lot of the time. So here we're going to go ribs down, butt cheek squeeze. That's your starting position. From here, we're going to think about your sits bones, which are these hard bones in your butt cheeks. Those bones are going to go backwards while your head goes forwards. And for every degree of head motion forward, you want an equal degree of butt motion backward. So it's gonna look like this. You're gonna have your hands in front, squeeze your butt to start, nice and tall, and my head goes forward, and my butt cheeks go back, back, back. I'm kind of looking down at the ground in front of me and not like this, because once your neck starts to go, everything gets all fucked up. So we're here, and then you're gonna come back up. So the thing that you wanna feel to make sure that you're actually getting where we wanna feel is some length or some stretch in your butt cheeks. So here, hips back, back, back. So right now I'm feeling a little bit of length right here in my glutes as I tip forward and then come back up. If you're not feeling the length in your butt, you might be doing some of this by accident. So you might be thinking about sending your hips back by going like this, in which case I don't feel anything in my hips. I feel it all in my lower back. So if that's the case for you, really pay attention to this front part. Really hold your hands here so you know if you start to do a duck back, you're gonna feel it under your hands. You're gonna feel it spreading apart. So keep this down, hips back, 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 bend forward, almost like you're bowing forward. And you're gonna hold this position for 10 seconds actually, if you can, but 5, 10, 15 seconds, anything like that is good. If again, you start to feel it more in your back rather than in your glutes, then I want you to pull the ribs down and continue to hold that for your 10 seconds and then come on back up. So just keep working through that. I would say 10 nice and slow and controlled reps altogether, but you can break that up, like do a couple at a time because you're holding it for 10 seconds, take a break, do a couple more, and then complete your 10. Okay, the next one we're gonna do is gonna be an actual standing hip hinge, but we're gonna do it in a kickstand position. That makes it a lot easier to feel one butt cheek working at a time, and we're gonna keep the same cues in mind that we just talked about in the other one. So that's gonna be nice rib cage locked down, and your head and your hips kind of moving like a seesaw together at the same time. So we don't want any of this, and we don't want any like, I don't know, Beyonce back situation. We just want one solid unit, tipping forward and tipping back. So let's try it. All right, so let's do the left side for me because this is my weak butt cheek side, so I wanna feel your pain while we're doing it together. So to start, we're gonna have all the weight on the front leg, and the back leg is literally just tiptoe touching the floor for balance. We don't want to put any weight through the back leg. We want it all through the front leg. That's going to help us load into these tissues here. Little different hand placement for this one than the previous one. So you're gonna put one hand on your booty and the other one's gonna be in the front here. So the purpose of this hand is to think about pushing your hips back as we start. Let me adjust my shorts are not even with my butt crack. If you know, you know. Okay. Hand here to push your hips back on the way down into the hinge. Hand here to make sure that you are in fact lengthening through the butt cheek. If you're doing this right, you should feel the tissues kind of like whoop, pull apart under your hands. That means you're doing it right. If you feel like your hand's not growing, that's maybe because you're using your hamstring instead, or you're using your lower back instead. So hand here, all the weight in that front foot, nice heavy in the knee. This foot's just chilling. So the first thing you're gonna do, again, think about your head moving forward and your hip moving back at the same time, nice and slow. You should be feeling the spreading out of your butt. That sounds weird, but we're professional here, okay. Good, now you're gonna hold this position for 10 seconds. If in this position you're not feeling your glute like working for dear life like mine is, you want to check and see, did I offset my weight back this way? You might have. If that's the case, give yourself a little check. Okay, wow, I'm totally on my other foot. Let me lean forward and that should correct that one out. Now we're gonna come up because my ass is fucking vibrating. Okay, so that is what we want to focus on for this. I'll give you a couple more cues here for a couple more sets. So, assuming our position here, now we know to be nice and light in the back leg, all the weight in the front. Again, hand cues are in place. Your ribs are tucked a little bit, so you're not doing any of this. And we're gonna shift hips back, 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 head forward. Another thing that can happen in this position is that your front knee starts to do some of this. So that is your body trying to use literally anything else besides your butt to accomplish this task. That's your hamstrings. So you might feel it as a stretch behind your knee here, or you might just notice visually like, this looks a little bit straighter than before. So what I want you to do in that case, you want to keep your knee in your point of view. You want it to like just cover your laces basically, and you want that to be the case the entire time. So we're starting over again. So my knee is over my laces. I'm gonna push my hips back, back, back. I want to keep my knee over my laces. It is gonna kind of migrate back a little because I'm pointing forward with my eyeballs, but the general idea is to keep the knee bent as much as possible, again, so that we're loading in this cheek, which I feel, and I feel like I'm about to fall over. But that is a couple things to keep in mind, and I'm gonna show you one last iteration of this. So if you have a foam roller, this will be pretty helpful. So what we're gonna do now, I'm gonna have the foam on my thigh here. Same idea. So because the foam is on your thigh, you're not going to be able to have your hands how exactly you were before. But this is for those of you guys who are doing this situation. We're going to force you to not use that at all by starting actually slouching your lower back. So we're here on the foam. My setup is the same as before, but I'm going to intentionally slouch down with my lower back first. And I want to keep pressure on this foam roller as I'm going, again, back, back, back with the hip. Thinking about the hip coming back and my head going forward while I'm maintaining this slouchy position in my back. Now, you should feel your butt cheek lighting up in this position. I definitely feel it. And then we're gonna roll, 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 right on back up. So again, we're kind of pre-positioning your back in a slouch. That way you're not able to do this little thingy that we like to do when you do your hip hinge. Okay, so again, slouchy back. I'm gonna start a little higher. So slouchy back, keep the knee bent, and you're gonna slouch, 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 and then keep thinking about pushing the knee back, 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 and you should be feeling it in the glute in this position. You might feel like your head is way closer to the ground now, which it is because you're slouched. But the same thing applies here. Here is you're feeling your stretch. If you feel it anywhere else, whew, then you can go back and revisit the other couple of cues I gave you and see how that works. Okay, last thing here, we're gonna try with a bench. This is a good tactile cue for you guys who are having trouble with bringing the knee back. If your knee's touching this bench the whole time, then you'll know for sure if you're cheating doing this. So again, knee touching the bench. We can revisit our hand position here. Keep that bend in the knee the exact same the whole time, and we're gonna initiate the motion here. Pushing back, pushing back, pushing back. And from here, you should feel that in your butt because your knee is still bent, you're not offloading like this, and my back leg is not being loaded up like this either. So you feel it here, hold it, and come back up. All right, now, this is only 10 pounds, okay? It looks huge and it makes me feel really strong, but it's literally 10 pounds, so don't worry about it. If you're like, what the fuck, how's she doing that? So we can train this up with weight. We can and we always should train this up with weight. So a couple ways to do that, I'll show you from the front. It's the same, you know, I'm gonna do the other side because my butt is like really on fire right now. On fire, Jesus. Okay, so again, same position. We're gonna be holding the bell on the opposite side hand, the one that we're working. That helps us keep our hip bones facing down towards the floor the whole time. So we're gonna just do a hip hinge with some weight. So same idea, you can still have this hand up here to push your hips back, back, back till you feel a big stretch there. Come on back up. I'll show you from the side. Fingers or hand here. Pushing the weight back, 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 back. Butt cheek is getting bigger. I can feel it. I'm not loading into the back leg. I'm holding it for a second here at the bottom, and then I'm gonna come back up. Okay, so one more time. Hips back. Hold it. And return. Okay, that's level 1. If you're a superstar, we can try level 2. That's gonna involve a tad bit of rotation. That's gonna open up your butt even more. Again, we're being professional here, okay? So we're here, and with the kettlebell, we're gonna think about bringing it toward the pinky toe. So we're here, we're going back the same way that we went before, but we're adding a little bit of rotation. So I'm going across the midline of my foot toward my pinky toe. Oh boy, and coming back up. That stretches out your butt so much, and it really, you feel it, Mr. Krabs, on the way back up, let me tell you. Cross over, hold in a moment, come on back up. Oh boy, you're welcome, guys. I'm getting a whole glute workout right now. All right, and then last one from the side. Butt is still going back, hips are still going back and loaded. You might see that this glute here is getting bigger. And coming back up, last one, knee bent. Twist, 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 pushing my hip back with this hand still, and untwisting, coming back up. All right. Okay, so that is your hip hinging 101 workshop. Again, hip hinging is so important because people sit a lot of the day, and even if you're not sitting a lot of the day, and you're just not used to actually getting into those tissues, if you have limitation in your hip internal rotation, like if you can't sit like this for shit, probably you have hip internal rotation limitations, and this will really help open that up, and it'll, you know, give you a big booty, and it'll give you a heavier lift. And who wants more than that? Okay, thanks for being here. Bye.